Hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Lispy and my reviews. Today I'm going to review all of the books that I read over winter break. Granted, now it is a little later than winter break, but I just got around to making a list of everything I read, and so here we go. I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can and give you as much of a run through as I can. So I read part of the Dogman series because I love Dav Pilkey and love Captain Underpants. So I read Dogman number 1, Dogman and Cat Kid, and Dogman Lord of the Fleas. These books were super duper popular in my middle school library, and so I have been meaning to read them for a while. I've just never had time. If you like Captain Underpants, these are an amazing series for you or your students, but honestly, as an adult, it didn't do it for me. But they are really fun, and I think that's what is important about them and why kids are going to love them is because they're fun, they make sense, the story is easy to follow. It is very much along the same lines as Captain Underpants. So if you're looking for something just fun and a good graphic novel with some beautiful artwork in it, Dogman is great. Then I read Roll With It by Jamie Sumner, which is seriously one of my new favorite books. I've been recommending it off the wall in my school. It's about a girl who moved from Tennessee to Louisiana with her mom to take care of her grandparents, because her grandfather has Alzheimer's. Now, the thing about the girl, and y'all know I'm awful with names, is she is in a wheelchair. Now, when she gets to her new school, they move to the trailer park where her grandparents live. And so it's a different kind of wheelchair story, or disability story. The girl becomes a new girl at school and starts a new school. But instead of being that girl for being in a wheelchair and having a disability, she's that girl because she's from the trailer park. So it's a different experience for her. So what she's used to is being looked at and kind of having to fight because she's got a disability instead of being cast out because of where she lives. So it's really good. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's a great middle grade novel, but I would also encourage high school students, even adults, to read it. Then I read Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan, which is so, so sweet. It's about a girl who works in an amusement park, and this is the summer before her senior year, I believe. But all of her friends are already getting ready to graduate and go to college. And she not only finds out that most of her friends are going away, but that this is the last summer the amusement park will be open. Then I really love how she starts to question her sexual identity. She doesn't really lean either way, and then she figures it out along the way. And I think this is an important book for students because there are so many books that are focused on LGBTQ, but the students or the characters have already decided what they are and who their sexual identity is. And in this book, there's a lot of questioning as to who she likes and what she likes, and it's really good. I loved it. It's got a little bit of romance in it, but it's a lot of themes that I think students will identify in. I put it in my middle school library because there's no sex, there's no cussing, there's nothing that's really vulgar about it, and I think that kids will identify with it. It's also just fun. Then read Dry, and I did a vlog on that, which I will link to in the list that I'll put in the blog post of all the books in here. I read The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. But this book was super fun. It's about an autistic character who wants to learn about sex and dating. This is an adult fiction. This is not something that would go in a school library, maybe high school. Depends on how your high school works. But she is autistic, and she meets this guy who is a male escort, and he is very secretive. His family doesn't know what he does. And so she pays him to teach her about a relationship. And of course, they end up having a relationship together. It's really cute. I just got the next book in the series, The Bride Test, on my holds list. So I'm excited for that. Then I read The One Night Stand Before Christmas. That wasn't on Erotica. So is Stocking Stuffers, So Over the Holidays, and Mangoes and Mistletoe. All of them are really good. I enjoyed them, and they were quick reads that got me in the holiday spirit and also gave me some good romance. I also read Unwrapped by Callie Harper, which is another erotica that I read last year, but I really enjoyed it last year, so I had to read it again because it was fun. Then I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Oh my God. Speaking of autistic characters, I love Chloe Brown. She's not autistic, sorry, but she does have a mental disability because she had an illness that caused her to have such anxiety that she has really bad social anxiety and she doesn't like to leave her house. She doesn't like to get out of her comfort zone. And she meets this man who is the superintendent of her apartment building and she fancies him. It's a British novel and it's so, so good. I really loved it. That's another adult novel that I recommend. I read P is for Pterodactyl. One of my cousins wanted it for Christmas, and so I bought it for her, and of course I had to read it. It's a really fun picture alphabet book that has terrible captions, like P is for Pterodactyl. Then I read Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. That one was so, so cute. I went into it thinking, like, I'm not going to like this because this isn't, it's an adult fiction and it's a romance. And I love Jasmine Guillory, but it is about someone's mom. So it's not someone that I can relate to, but it is still really, really good. Like I went in thinking I wasn't going to like it, but I actually really did. And it didn't matter that it was someone's mom. It was really good because it was just a good romance. And this one is set in Britain. So I don't know why, but I had like a British Europe romancy kick going on during the holidays. Then I reread Crowded Volume 1, which was a Maverick List nominee, and it was put on the Maverick List for 2020. But I reread it because a lot of times what happens during the nomination series for the Maverick List is I read through the graphic novels so fast, and then I put them aside to reread them later when I have time to enjoy them. And I love this one. It's about kind of how our world is, where it's heading. It's about crowdsourcing murder, and it's so fun. And then not only do you crowdsource murder, but they crowdsource the people that can save you. So it's a really cool concept. I enjoyed it. And lastly, I read Pride and Prejudice with Mistletoe by Melissa de la Cruz. Every year for the past 3 years, Karina, aka Q the Librarian, and I have read a holiday romance novel together, and this was our most recent one. We picked Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe. There is also a Hallmark Christmas movie with the same title. I don't think that they're the same thing, though, because when I read it and then I watched the movie, they didn't really line up. I am not an Austenite. I have not read enough Jane Austen to say whether I love the original or not. I cannot tell you if this is exactly the same or if it sticks to Pride and Prejudice the same way. But what I can tell you is the main character in the book really annoyed me because she goes back and forth a lot. And so she makes up her mind and then she changes it and then she does one thing that's not like what she thought of in the first place. And then the guy that she's with, hey Cheetos, is kind of the same. So I don't know if that's how Pride and Prejudice the original is, but it was a little bit annoying. But it was a fun, good romance. It was fun to read over the holidays. So that's that. Like I said, I read a bunch of books over the holidays, and it's been a minute since I read them. So my favorite books that I read over the holidays were definitely Dry, Hot Dog Girl, Roll With It, and for sure Get a Life, Chloe Brown. It was so, so good. Definitely my new favorite. And as far as the erotica and adult romance go, Mangoes and Mistletoe was awesome. I loved it. It's set in like a cooking holiday bake-off special, and it was really fun to read all these recipes and different ideas that they're baking. I just love baking too. So yep, those are my Christmas reads reviews. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Bye. See you next time.